Howdy, guys, and welcome to Cliff Notes. Welcome to night 62 of the overnight feed recaps for Big Brother season 26. And welcome to Eviction Night, Eviction Thursday. Yes, indeed, we've got Rubina and T-Core on the block. No BBA Irina to save anyone this week. We're going to see one of these two walk out the door, most likely going to the jury house, spending the next week with Quinn. Is there a chance for a battle back? I don't think so at this point in the season. I haven't tried to work the math, but I don't know if we're going to have a battle back this season. We'll find out, but most likely heading over to the jury house as our second juror for the season, either T-Core or Rubina. Once that happens, then we're going to see how the dynamics of this house changes, because we've got right now a group of three, Cam and Chelsea and Mackenzie. We've got a group of two, Leah and Angela. And then we've got another group of two of Chemo and either T-Core or Rubina, depending on who survives this evening. So three groups of people. Mackenzie, I'm putting her in with Chelsea and Cam, but she could be with Angela and Leah as well. We're going to talk about that, some of those conversations this evening. So kind of riding the line, those two. We'll see how it all works out. Lots going to be riding on who wins the HOH this evening. All right. Let's talk about the feeds themselves. Did we have all kinds of massive campaigning, crazy pitches going on? No, not so much from these two. They were pretty chill. We had a lot more conversations taking place from other people trying to protect or grow their position in the house in anticipation of the coming up week. Not so much campaigning from either one of these two, but we are going to talk about everything that went on. All right, let's start off with a conversation between Cam and Chemo. Cam is saying that he is leaning towards voting out T-Core, and Chemo tells him that he isn't planning on putting Cam on the block anytime soon. So in other words, Chemo trying to protect his position with Cam a little bit in case Cam was to win HOH, but also Cam very much letting Chemo know that he's voting out T-Core. And the idea, I think, is he wants to get Chemo on board as well. Chemo to vote as well. Chemo's in a tough position. Who's he going to vote out? T-Core or Rubina. So Cam letting Chemo know which way he's leaning. Hopefully that implies what the house is going to do, and may then encourage Chemo to vote out T-Core as well. So yeah, he's saying that's the way he's going to go, and then Chemo in turn saying, "You're good. You're not going anywhere if I get HOH. So please keep me protected as well going forward." All right, we've got Cam and Chelsea talking a little bit. Cam is talking about T-Core having suggested that Cam should have been the target this week. Remember, Leah had spilled the beans saying, "Yeah, T-Core wanted me to break our safety bond and put you up, Cam." So now Cam is reminding Chelsea about this. It's giving him the justification that he needs, the incentive he needs to go ahead and send T-Core out the door. Chelsea is telling Cam, saying, people are assuming that T-Core and I are just super close. She said, "We aren't really. We're not that close. That was something that Tucker created, and that was his narrative that people just ran with." But she said, "I'm not that close to T-Core. I'm much more close to Mackenzie, much more protective of Mackenzie. Mackenzie is who I'm worried about, not T-Core at this point in time." Well, I think they're closer than she's letting on. She's downplaying that a little bit, seeing maybe the winds of which way the house is going. So yeah, trying to distance herself a little bit from T-Core. Here's the thing. There's a possibility that the votes exist to send T-Core out even without Chelsea's vote. But if Chelsea is not vocally supporting and pushing and campaigning for T-Core to stay, I think it's not looking good for T-Core at all. I think she needed Chelsea on her side. And if Chelsea just kind of hands off and not doing anything to help her cause too much, I think T-Core is in trouble for this evening. We'll see. We're going to find out here in just a few hours. But she is mentioning that Mackenzie much more of a priority for her than T-Core. Cam is saying that Mackenzie and Leah had both mentioned to him during conversations that they were a little bit nervous, that they felt like Chelsea maybe was playing both sides a little bit, that she was with them, but also maybe seemed to be tight, seemed to be having a lot of discussions with T-Core and Rubina and Chemo. And so people were Leah and Mackenzie, a little bit worried about that. Cam is saying, look, if T-Core goes home, that should all go away. That should clear things up. If it's just two over there, people aren't going to worry about you playing with them. It should clear it up. It should help our game if T-Core heads out the door. All right, we've got Angela and Mackenzie talking. Angela is saying that she would love to be in a final three with Mackenzie and Leah. Now, remember, Chelsea and Cam are laying claim to Mackenzie as well, but so is Angela. So Mackenzie's going to have maybe a tough decision to make at some point before too long. For right now, she may be somewhat protected. We'll see. We'll see what would happen if Chemo or Rubina or T-Core, whoever's left, if one of them won HOH, Mackenzie could be an easy pawn. We'll see. But Angela basically saying that she wants Mackenzie and Leah in the final three with her. Mackenzie saying, I'm all on board with that. That's what I'm fighting for. Absolutely, Angela. I'm certainly ready to be a final three with you and Leah. Mackenzie is saying that she believes they should have the votes to send out T-Core this evening. The same votes that I just mentioned. Herself and Angela, Cam, and maybe even Chelsea as well, if she sees that that's the way the rest of the house is voting. So they're feeling pretty good about the vote this evening. All right, we've got Cam and Angela talking a little bit. Angela is telling Cam that T-Core had said that she and Chemo were the strategist in that group of three. T-Core complains later that Angela was asking very pointed questions of her, and apparently one of those was, who's running y'all's group of three? And so Angela's telling Cam, saying that T-Core said that she and Chemo were the brains, that Rubina not so much. I think this is a matter of Angela driving home the point that T-Core is more dangerous than Rubina. We've got to get her out the door. So just more ammunition for Cam to justify what he wants to do, it sounds like, as well. All right, we've got Angela and Rubina talking now. Angela is saying that Rubina needs to tell Chemo, or needs to tell Chemo that T-Core wanted the veto used on Rubina, not on Chemo, that T-Core was perfectly happy letting Chemo head out the door, that she wanted to protect Rubina over Chemo. And Angela's saying, Rubina, if you tell Chemo that, he sure should help Chemo support you instead of T-Core, right, when it comes to the vote. So again, Angela trying to rally the troops to make sure that everyone's voting out T-Core. So throwing out another argument to Rubina to use. Now, later, Rubina did indeed tell Chemo just that, except she spun a little bit differently. She didn't say that T-Core was happy to have the veto used on Rubina instead of Chemo. She says, Angela says that T-Core was more than happy to send you out the door and to keep me. And so a little bit change in the way it was explained, but she does tell Chemo that. Now she follows up by saying, but Angela told me, I don't know if I can trust what she says or not. That's not how you do it, Rubina. You say, oh, she said this. T-Core was not caring about you, Chemo. You don't leave any doubt or suspicion that that's not exactly what T-Core said. But she says, yeah, she told me that. I just don't know if it's true or not. But she did tell Chemo a little bit later exactly what Angela had suggested that she say. Rubina basically agrees with Angela, said, yeah, I'm not the brains of the group. That's not me. It is T-Core. So yeah, absolutely, you're right. And Angela says later, I'm telling everyone that the T-Core is the brains and it's not Rubina. So that's her narrative for the day. All right, we've got Chelsea and T-Core talking a little bit. I gotta say, T-Core just needed a little assistance with her campaigning. She talked to Mackenzie earlier, and I don't know if there was a single sentence that came out of T-Core's mouth that consisted of anything more than mm-hmm, or yeah, or yes, or yeah. She's having a hard time of it. But anyway, Chelsea and T-Core talking. T-Core saying that she doesn't know where Chemo's head is at right now, but that she's hoping that Chemo remembers that T-Core has been the only person who was in a position of power to prove her loyalty to him, and she did it when she was HOH, didn't put him up on the block. Of course, that was a long time ago, but she proved her loyalty to him, and she's hoping that Chemo recognizes that. Never mind about trying to get him out the door of Rubina. Just remember that I was HOH and you survived, Chemo. T-Core saying that her conversation with Angela didn't go that well because Angela was asking very pointed questions. As I mentioned previously, she included questions such as questioning why T-Core hadn't put up Chelsea during T-Core's HOH. Again, everyone's very suspicious of the relationship between these two. And T-Core saying, I didn't realize they were going to ask me to reveal so much stuff and want so much explanations of everything I've done in the game. It's hard. I mean, when your life is on the line, you almost are obligated to give out information to try to satisfy some of these questions, but at the same time, it certainly exposes you. It's a difficult situation T-Core is in, and she's not used to it. Chelsea is saying that she just doesn't know how Cam or Mackenzie might vote this evening. Well, I think she has an indication, but she's not letting on the T-Core that doesn't know how the two of them are going to vote. Chelsea is complaining. Conversation turns to Leah. Chelsea's complaining that Leah is telling different things to different people about targets, alliances, that you can't trust Chemo, you can't trust Chelsea. Depending on who she's talking to, she's telling different things. So Chelsea's certainly not real happy with Leah right now. T-Core is saying that she loves the game of Big Brother. She wants to be here. She really just wants to stay long enough to play in BB Comics. So that's her pitch at this point in time. Chelsea finishes up more or less by telling T-Core that she loves T-Core. She does not want her to go. So yeah, trying to calm T-Core down or maintain the relationship with her just in case. All right, later we've got Chelsea and Rubina talking. Chelsea was talking to T-Core, said, I don't want you to go. I want you to stay. Now she's talking to Rubina, and Chelsea's saying that herself, Chelsea, Cam, and Mackenzie have talked. They don't want Rubina to go. They want to save Rubina. They're both worried about Leah planting seeds of distrust towards Chelsea. So we certainly see how this thing could hash out. That Chelsea very well could be going after Leah next week. I could certainly see that happening. All right, we've got Angela and Cam covering kind of sleeping Leah in toilet paper. They're covering her up like she was the nicest, finest oak tree in someone's front yard, just covering her up with toilet paper everywhere. Leah eventually jumps up and scares them, and just trying to have some fun during a somewhat boring day. Leah, they did have conversation. Actually, I think this is a little bit later. I'm going to mention it now because I got it in my notes now. Leah talked to the rest of the house guests. I think it's Angela, says, how did the name Big Brother get this name? Leah's talking about how they got the name because of the book Big Brother, 1984, written by George Orwell. She seems to be the only one who recognizes this book, who knows what this book is about, which kind of surprises me. It's a very famous book. My personal pick, if you have not read 1984 by George Orwell, go down, get a copy, even before you watch live feeds or tonight's episode. Read 1984. It's an incredibly powerful book, one of my all-time favorites. Has a lot of relevance in today's society, I believe, as well. Read it. Your life is not complete. It's got to be a bucket list item. Read 1984 by George Orwell. All right, I get off my soapbox here. But yeah, Leah talks about it, and she's aware of it. Not sure anyone else in the house is. All right, we've got Chemo and T-Core talking a little bit. T-Core is giving, I guess, a combination pep and strategy talk to Chemo. It sure sounds like the way T-Core is talking that she is at least resigned to a strong possibility that she could be heading out the door. She's using herself, it seems like, in a lot of past tense as far as going forward and things like that. So, yeah, I think T-Core is realizing that she maybe just didn't have the connections today or yesterday that she needed to save herself. But she's giving a bit of a pep talk to Chemo's strategy. T-Core saying, look, if you win HOH tonight, I know you want to put up Angela. We all want to put up Angela, but she's saying not putting up Angela may actually be a better move, because if you do that, Chemo, if you don't put Angela up, first you can go after a bigger target in this house that may be a faster, bigger threat to your game. And everyone will then still have Angela as a target that they may go after before you. So it would make a lot of sense not to go after Angela. I think after Angela saving Chemo this past week, she's low on the list. I think she did a lot of damage control with Chemo. I think Chemo is probably going to be, now he may go after Leah way before Angela. But yeah, I think probably Chemo doesn't see Angela as his biggest target. T-Core does, though, and she's saying just leave her alone, go after someone else. Other people will come after Angela instead. She's warning him to be careful with Leah, because people are noticing that Leah's starting to hang out more with Chemo, and that people may make some associations and have some concerns because of that. So just be careful about what you do with Leah, because everyone's paying attention right now. She's saying that Leah is too dangerous to work with as a player. No matter what she says, what you say, She's just too dangerous. She'll turn on anyone when she needs to. They are worried that Cam and Leah and Mackenzie seem unwilling to put each other up, that they would have gone after each other earlier. The fact they haven't would suggest that maybe they got some kind of pact or something going on. So they're worried about the three of those working together going forward. They're thinking that Leah or Mackenzie needs to go on the block first, and that at that point, then Chemo may be able to work closer with Cam. In other words, Mackenzie and Leah both friendly with Cam, as much as Chelsea hates it, friendly with Cam. So if Chemo could get HOH, put one of those two on the block, send one of them home, it may be easier for Chemo to start pulling Cam in as a potential working partner at some point in time. I'm not sure that Cam feels a whole lot of tight connection with Chemo to make that work, but they're grasping at straws. They're trying to figure out how to regain their footing in this game after someone goes home from their group. Chemo is saying, talk about Leah, and Chemo says, now look here, 1,000,000% chance that if I get HOH, Leah is going on the block. So yeah, Angela may not be his primary target. Leah certainly is. He's assuring T-Core, yep, I'm coming after Leah. T-Core is talking about how much she wants Chemo to get at the very end. She says, look, I think if you can make it to those final 2 chairs, it's not going to be easy, but if you can make it to the final 2 chairs, I think you've got a very good chance of winning this entire season. I think Chemo needs to be a little more active, a little more proactive in his game plan, win a few more comps, drive a few more decisions. If he does all of that, there's still time left in the season to build your resume and make something happen. Right now, I'm not sure that Chemo is going to win as much as get carried to a final 2 by someone else, but we'll see. There's still almost a month left in this season. All right, we've got everyone hanging out together, just chatting about TV shows, things like no game talk, but just hanging out, waiting for the night to come. All right, we've got Chelsea and Angela talking a little bit. Chelsea's going on and on. Oh boy, she's just going on and on with Angela about how much she respects Angela, her gameplay, her play as a person, how Angela did the punishment that most men couldn't do, how she isn't letting her age affect her game, that she deserves to be there, that she stood up there holding that marshmallow in this last HOH competition for 9 freaking hours, just on and on and on. Chelsea, I think Chelsea recognizing that her and Angela are on 2 different groups, may not have the best relationship, and trying to soothe things over with her. So she's really going on and on with the kissing the ring, so to speak. Chelsea is telling Angela she deserves to be there, that she wants Angela to make it to top 5. She's saying, after that, we all go after each other, but you need to make it to top 5. Angela responds in turn after all of this lavish praise. Angela says, Chelsea, sometimes I feel like maybe you don't like me. You don't make eye contact with me. I just don't always get a real positive vibe from you. I just don't know that. Do you really like me? Chelsea then is trying to explain away, saying, look, sometimes it just takes me a while to drop my walls and to warm up to people. And it's all me. It's not you, Angela. It's all me, and me have a hard time trusting people and all that. But yeah, I like you. I really like you. So yeah, Angela not as receptive as Chelsea maybe had hoped with that conversation. All right, we've got more general chit chat about family and exes and TV shows, etc. This is where I think the conversation about Big Brother came up. Mackenzie at one point is teaching Rubina how to 2-step to do some country western dancing. Eventually she tries it with Chemo for just a little bit. Chemo's trying to get people to dance and do different things as well. The house guests are wondering, if the eviction ceremony and maybe the HOH competition as well could be taking place in Janky's world. I mentioned in yesterday's show, I guess I could see the eviction ceremony taking place outdoors as long as production's able to handle lighting and changes and challenges with lighting from above and all of that. I'm sure they've got the expertise to do it. So I could see the eviction taking place this evening. I hadn't really thought about it until I saw that conversation that you could have HOH still in Janky's world. Why shut the backyard down if you've already got your set built? They may be out there. I'm a little surprised they haven't had some kind of counting competition already. Maybe it's tonight's HOH. Look at a small number of ducks and guess how many a bigger number are in the pool, things like that. We'll see. It very well could be that HOH will involve Janky's world, and then only at that point when we have a new HOH, will they come indoors and say goodbye to Janky and the Janky song and everything else that we've come to know and love, or not so much over the past week. All right, we've got Cam and Chelsea and Leah and MJ talking. Cam is saying that Chemo hadn't talked to him during the day. He really wants to know what Chemo is going to do. They had a conversation early in the day, nothing since then. Cam still doesn't know which way Chemo is leaning. Leah's saying that no one talked to her, talked any game to her this week. Cam and Mackenzie are saying the same thing, that no one's talking game. Even the two nominees aren't talking game. Liars, liars, liars. Yeah, there's been a lot of game talk, but they don't want to reveal that to each other. So all saying, yeah, I didn't talk to any game at all. Leah is feeling bad that she created this division in the house with her nominations. But Mackenzie saying, yeah, you shouldn't feel bad. The trio had to be broken up. You did exactly what you needed to do. We're good with it, Leah. We absolutely are. All right, we've got a little comparison here. We've got we've got downstairs by the pool, by the porta potties, Leah and Chelsea and Mackenzie and Cam all talking about foods, talking about chicken and what dark meat, white meat, what chicken they like. On and on. I think they're tired of the pizza and the ice cream. So talking on and on about chicken and then eggs and cheese and burgers from Germany. Just a lot of food discussions at this point in time. In other words, nothing to do with game talk. They're just enjoying their last evening out in the backyard. Meanwhile, we've got T-Core and Rabina and Chemo having their last evening together. They were up on the balcony, kind of just hanging out, knowing this will be the last night for all three of them, no matter what happens with the vote this evening. There's talk about who they would hang out with after the show. Who would they go visit? Who would they invite to their house? You know, who they're tightest with, maybe not so tight. Just a lot of that kind of discussion. Chemo is saying that it sure looks like everyone is starting to kind of gravitate towards Chelsea in terms of just hanging out and relationships and everything else. And T-Core is saying that Chelsea is a caregiver, a provider type personality, and that's why they're all moving that way. That she thinks that Chelsea is going to end up using Angela and Chemo as pawns. So in other words, watch out, Chemo. Yeah, Chelsea may, I don't know, watch out or just be aware you could be a pawn for her. But she's thinking Angela and Chemo both could be going on the block if Chelsea needs to kind of control what's going on in the house. If everyone else is coming towards her, they could be easy pawns to put up. T-Core is pointing out the other group that's downstairs talking about the foods and everything else. And she's saying, you know, I think I should have had more talks today with all of them. Yeah, probably so. I don't know if it would have made a difference, T-Core, but you're probably right. They're telling Chemo, Rabina and T-Core saying, we know how hard it's going to be for you to make your decision tonight, Chemo, that you're in a rough position. They're both saying, there's no wrong answer. Whichever way you go is perfectly fine. We get it. Don't feel bad. At one point, Chemo, who's not on the block, talking to T-Core, saying, you know, I'm just spiraling. All of this is hitting. I'm really spiraling. T-Core said, yeah, but you spiral every day, every week you spiral, Chemo. That's just you. And this was part of her pep talk to him, saying, yeah, you just got to get over that and proceed. So they're saying, do not let it bother you. You got to vote somehow, and we get it. We're not holding against you, whichever way you go. With that being said, Chemo says, well, good. Y'all hash it out then. I'm going to bed. So Chemo goes off to bed, expecting another long evening of strategy talk. A long evening, but nothing to do with strategy. Not really. Because they're against each other. How do you talk strategy at that point? T-Core is saying, talking about being in the house and that it's been great, but at the same time, she really feels like she hadn't had a chance to really tell her story and open up because of the cameras everywhere, that they've kind of hindered her. So I guess there's things she wanted to talk about that she maybe wasn't comfortable talking about while the cameras were on here, which is kind of tough in the house of Big Brother to avoid. But saying, yeah, the cameras really hindered her in truly getting her story about who she is out to everyone else. So you'll have chances after the season as well, I'm sure. But she's talking about that. She says that she just doesn't trust people easily. She loves very easily, but trusting people is a different situation. So it makes it hard to talk and to work with people. And what a perfect, yeah, I absolutely believe that. That's why when she found a couple of people that she did think she could trust, she latched on to them too strongly, and as a result, probably used it as a bit of a crutch. I don't know. I think that hurt her in terms of reaching out to other people. Once she found her couple of people that she felt really tight with, she probably didn't do nearly enough to reach out to other people. And we'll see if that cost her game this evening with the vote. So there you go, guys. Everyone in bed finally at 5 o'clock or so, Big Brother time. T-Core and Rubina call it a night in bed. Everyone now asleep, getting ready for one more day in Janky World. The vote tonight, again, I really think T-Core is probably heading out the door. We'll see. Things could change. If it does, it's going to be because Chelsea changes her mind and rallies a troop around her. But I think T-Core will be heading out the door. And then the all-important HOH competition. This could be huge. I know I feel like I say that every week. This could be a huge HOH competition to define how the rest of the season goes. Who's on top, who's on bottom. We don't have that many people left. We don't have that much time left either. All right, guys, enjoy the episode this evening. I certainly will. We'll see if we get to watch the HOH comp live. If not, I'll be watching those feeds to see who's got the key around their neck a little bit later. But have a fantastic Thursday. I'll be back tomorrow morning to give you a recap, let you know who the HOH is, and talk all about what that means for the weeks going forward. Have a great one, guys. SKD 143. Cheers, my friends.